Hello, I'm Alma Schneider. I'm a licensed clinical social worker and the proud mother of 4 children, one of whom has Prader-Willi syndrome.
And I am Iris Miller. I'm a certified rehabilitation counselor and the proud mother of 2 children, one of whom has quadriplegic cerebral palsy and is nonverbal.
In this podcast, we discuss the uncensored truth about raising children with disabilities.
Prepare to laugh, cry, and hopefully learn something new.
This is 2 Moms, No Fluff.
Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of 2 Moms, No Fluff, the podcast in which we discuss the uncensored truth about raising children with disabilities. Our podcast is sponsored by our nonprofit, 1 in 6 Support, and today we're actually going to speak to you a little bit about 1 in 6 Support. We see that many parents don't really know all the services and things that we do in the community. So, Alma, my dear partner, I am wondering, are you able and willing to share with our audience all that we do in 1 in 6 Support?
I am very able, and I'm not going to lie. I have my little 1-pager cheat sheet here, which is what we send to foundations and individual donors who are interested in what we're doing. And, we figured that we need to share this with you as well. So I'm going to start off by reading you what our mission is, if you don't already know. And at 1 in 6 Support, our mission is to reduce isolation with families of children with disabilities by empowering and uplifting them. We provide emotional and practical support to parents and caregivers, fostering inclusive, equitable communities, and collaborating with organizations that are dedicated to building a more accessible and compassionate world. So we're going to tell you a little bit about how we are making our mission come to life. So do you want to read the next part, Iris, about what our vision is for the future?
I actually want to say a few words about our mission, and then I'll let you read the vision as you're such a good reader. But what I can say is that many people don't really know that 1 in 6 Support is a registered nonprofit. We're a 501c3. And the work that we do is basically based on donations and grants and contributions from individuals who see the importance in supporting families of children with disabilities. Now, as Alma and I both know on a personal level, having a child with a disability is a very isolating experience. And in a day and age when isolation is like the largest pandemic maybe in the world, and a lot of people are suffering from loneliness, I think that the fact that parents of children with disabilities feel themselves even more isolated from the community at large is something that we are really, really trying to break and bring community into this experience while sharing support systems and resources with the families.
Yes, and we're really trying to do all the services that we're providing, we really do want to keep free for the families, but we can't do that and run this organization without funds. So that's why we became a nonprofit, a 501c3, with your tax deductible donations. And, just thinking about how this impacts families, it can cost so much money to go to lawyers, to go to get a lawyer for your IEP at school, to fight all of these things if you don't know what you don't know. The best place to find out this information for free is from our groups, from the other parents that are here. There's a lot of peer-to-peer mentoring, and having us with our years and years of experience, many people in our groups do not need to hire certain professionals because they learn what they need to know from our groups. Of course, you still might need to hire a professional in some arena, but there's so much to be gained by being with other parents. So we just want to explain, because people didn't understand initially, well, why do you need to start a nonprofit? Because these things, take time, they take money. So it's really important that everyone understand what this is that we're doing and why we're doing it. So our vision is that we envision a world where every family raising a child with disabilities experience support, inclusivity, and understanding. Our goal is to build equitable communities and partner with allies who champion dignity, rights, and meaningful opportunities for all children. So there's so much to be learned from other parents who have experienced what you've experienced, or what you might experience, or that you might not know what you don't know, and then you're going to learn it from the group. Iris, did you want to add something to that?
No, I think you said it very well, Alma. And I think that one of our core services that we provide is the in-person support groups that are based on the model that my friend here, Alma Schneider, brought to life. And this has turned into such like a successful model because the groups have a couple of components to them. And the fact that you bring together a bunch of people that actually get it, it makes so much of the communication much easier for everybody involved. The thing that I like about our groups is that it's a drop-in group, and a parent doesn't have to make a 12 months commitment to attending on a regular basis. They can come when they need. They don't have to be here on time. They can join the conversation when they need the support. And the fact is that even I, 30 years almost into being in this field, and both as a professional and maybe 17 years on a personal level, it's just mind-boggling to me how I learn new things all the time from the parents that are joining the conversation on a particular day and week.
Yes,
I
and
also,
speakers.
what?
And the speakers that come to our group, but
And
we're going to
this,
get into that when we get into the nitty gritty. So this is the best part, what we actually provide. So we're going to get very concrete here so you have a sense. And for those of you who don't know, I am a licensed clinical social worker, and Iris is a certified rehabilitation counselor. So we're both coming to this nonprofit with a tremendous amount of professional experience, as well as our personal experience raising our own children and being in communities with families who have children with disabilities. So let's get into what we actually do here at 1 in 6 Support. Okay, we both have in-person and virtual support groups and counseling. So these groups, once again, are free. Everything we do, we're really trying to keep free, but we cannot do that without funding for the nonprofit. We also provide advocacy and activism coaching. So we go to IEP meetings with individuals, or we coordinate with other parents to go to IEP meetings with other people to be able to get the services that we need in school. This, again, is a very costly endeavor if you are hiring someone to do this for you. We have a lot of very experienced parents in the community who can actually go with you for free to your IEP meeting. So this is, another way to save money. And we all know that raising a child with a disability can cost so much extra money, more than raising a neurotypical child. So anywhere we can all cut costs with all of these things that we need to take care of for our children can help our economic situation and relieve our stress.
yes,
We
and
have
I just want to mention that in addition to our in-person groups that really attract people from sometimes several hours of drive from where the group actually meets, because it's sometimes priceless for the parents to be in a group setting and be able to share and learn. But in addition to that, we also have online support groups. So at the beginning of my personal journey with my daughter's complex needs, it was almost impossible to leave her behind and go somewhere for a meeting without her, or with her. It was a whole set of complexities. So the online support groups are meant to help parents who can't make it to the in-person support group meetings, either because they live far away or because of the circumstances in their home and the caregiving needs. So we do have those available for people who are international and to people who are close by but can't attend in person.
Yes, and some of our groups, support groups, are hybrid. So you can actually attend the group on Zoom while the group is live. So that's another feature that we have in some of the groups. We also have our Two Moms No Fluff podcast, which you probably know about if you're listening to this right now because this is the Two Moms No Fluff podcast. So we, as you know, bring in speakers. We have people that we interview for this podcast, and we have a bevy of topics that are very specific to raising children with disabilities. And as you may know, our tagline for the podcast is the uncensored truth about raising kids with disabilities, as we talk about a lot of issues that a lot of people don't talk about that are really important and really give the nuanced explanation of what we go through and how we can get help. We also have a wonderful monthly newsletter, if you don't know. So if you do not know about this, please go on on the 1 in 6 Support website, 1in6support.org, and you will find how to subscribe to our newsletter. We have articles in there about different really relevant topics for parents of kids with disabilities. We also have a Parent of the Month. We talk about upcoming events as well as a wonderful recipe that you can make to make your life a little easier at home.
Yes, I love the monthly recipes, and I also love the Parent of the Month. So if you're listening right now and you want to be featured as one of our Parents of the Month, please contact us at info@oneinsixsupport.org. We love sharing stories, and also we love sharing the writing of parents, and we do have articles about different topics. So if you are, as a parent or a community member, a subject matter expert, for example, in swimming for children with disabilities, we would love to share your contact with the other parents in the group. This is really important, and our whole newsletter is meant to uplift and educate.
That's right. We also do training. You may not know this. We do training for employers on caregiver inclusive practices. So we want companies and organizations to know that 1 in 6 of their employees who has a child with has a child with a disability. So it's really important that companies and organizations that employ these parents understand the needs of the parents to make their work setting more inclusive. So that's another way that we can fund, by the way, our nonprofit, is by doing these presentations in companies. So if you have a contact to a company and you'd like us to present, that money that we charge, that fee that we charge, goes directly into the nonprofit. So that's something.
That being said, Alma, I also want to mention that we do continuing education training, and we provide workshops and presentations to professionals in the field, whether it's an office of physicians, psychologists, social workers, or other people working with children with disabilities like OTs, PTs. We are so happy to present about that aspect of the kind of perspective of the parents and how to best work and collaborate with families of children with disabilities. Those presentations are very important because they improve the quality of service that the professionals can provide to the families and the children that they treat. So that's also important to remember. And I also want to mention the accessibility and inclusion consultations that we give to communities and organizations. Here in Midland, Michigan, we basically transformed the community in terms of its accessibility, and we can take pride in about 10 different changing places, restrooms that are being built and added to our community, making Midland, Michigan one of the most accessible and inclusive communities in the United States. So the knowledge and experience that we have with regards to accessibility in physical structures and inclusion in terms of best practices really are valuable and helpful to organizations and communities, and we're always happy to share the knowledge and give presentations and consultations to organizations.
Yes, absolutely. Very important. Connection groups for fathers of children with disabilities. Fathers often get left out of the conversation, and it's really important that they are a part of raising their children and creating communities for themselves to talk about some of the issues that come up with their children that have to do with their families, with their job, and just having a place where they too can exhale and say, I'm in a group of people who are not going to judge my child or not going to judge me for things that I have to say about how I'm feeling or how I'm raising my child, and I can get input from other fathers. So that's something else that we provide that we're very happy about, and we want to expand that. And everything that we're talking about, we will get when we get to the last point. We're going to talk about how we're going to expand these things eventually. We also have international roundtables on disability best practices, where we have online forums where we are discussing best practices in different countries and different cultures, and that's something that's really of interest to us because we know that other parts of the country and other parts of the world are doing things differently, and we can maybe pick and choose and start seeing which ones would really work for us in our communities that might be really beneficial. So it's really important to act locally but think globally and get information from around the world, actually.
Yes, and those best practices that we are trying to collect and compile, those should be like really the roadmap for any country and any organization in terms of how best to support families of children with disabilities. I like to many times use the analogy of an airplane. You need to put the oxygen mask on the parent first so they're better able to help their child. And this is what we're trying to achieve, and seeing and learning from other countries and learning from the global practices that work in other places is a, I think, best practice for how to navigate the future of disabilities in the United States in general and the world.
Yes, absolutely. And as we all know, at this time, many services are being cut, and it's vital for parents to be in communication with each other, to be able to make this disability life work and to have our children thrive, because we are going to be losing some services, and we are going to have to be dependent on grants and individual donors to be allowing us to continue this kind of reduction of isolation and the building and fostering of community for families, so that we can learn as much as we can from each other, as opposed to just relying on governmental agencies that are reducing the services. Iris, do you want to talk about one six
Yeah.
exchange?
Yes. The other service that is flourishing here in Michigan is our durable medical equipment exchange that offers free equipment for families of children with disabilities, and sometimes to adults with disabilities that need the same equipment. For example, a wheelchair ramp, it doesn't matter if it's for a child or an adult, but we have the equipment. Children tend to grow out of durable medical equipment very fast. Sometimes they need new equipment, and it takes months on end to get approval from private insurance. And we are here to bridge the gap and help families try equipment and also use it until they have the ability to purchase their own piece of equipment. We are always happy to receive donations of gently used durable medical equipment. We have a volunteer OT and PT that help adapt the equipment to your child's size and needs. And we're happy to be able to offer this service to the community. It's really important.
Yeah, thank you. Events and retreats for families. So we have partnered with organizations that provide retreats for families. We are eventually going to be providing our own retreats for families. And we also provide social outings for the parents, again, to reduce isolation and to build and foster community amongst the parents. We have social outings in the evening. We have we partnered with yoga teachers to have free yoga classes in the evenings. We have the Disability Pride Parade that is now in its 5th year, where we are partnering with other social service agencies for families with children with disabilities to really shine a light on families and people who have disabilities, to show their pride in what they've accomplished and who they are, and just to raise awareness. And that's a big endeavor for 1 in 6 support. So this takes, months to organize. We also have a yearly Mother's Day event that we do that pampers the moms, because the kids are not always able to celebrate their moms when they have a disability. And we get vendors from the community to offer their time and talents, to volunteer them, to give a special day, a pampering day for the moms. And that is, again, another event that takes months to organize and prepare. And we're always looking for volunteers for these events. So again, if you're interested in participating in any of that, please contact us at info@onein6support.org. Thank you for that. And lastly, we really want to let you know what we have planned for the future, because this is really the crux of what we're doing in 1-in-6 support. We're trying to uplift and create community for our local organizations, for our local towns and cities. But what we really want to do eventually is bring everything that we're doing with 1-in-6 in our respective communities and bring it everywhere. So we want to provide and will provide free trainings for people who have some kind of a professional background with either counseling or teachers, to provide all that we're doing here in their respective communities. So people can take our free trainings that we have prepared and start creating a support group. We will hold your hand to create support groups, a newsletter in your community, a Mother's Day event, and a Disability Pride Parade in every community. Our goal is to provide this in every community across the country, maybe the world, for free. We want to provide these trainings for free. So again, this is where the funds come from. They come from donors, they come from companies, they come from organizations, from foundations, for us to be able to provide these services for free to others, so that everyone can have a thriving disability community in their own cities, their towns, their states. And that's what, the small things that we're trying to do, which I'm obviously being very facetious about, because this is life-changing for families who have children with disabilities.
Right. And Alma, I just want to mention again that we do have a ready to launch training for other people who are professionals in the field that are also parents of children with disabilities. We're looking to hear from those parents that are interested in starting their own group in their own area. We are really eager to replicate the model in many other communities. So if you're a parent who's also a professional in the field and ready and willing to lead support groups and be a moderator in a live conversation, sometimes the topics are very charged and emotional, so we need people that are able to handle the task. And if you know of another parent who might be a good candidate, please refer them to us, again at info@1in6support.org. And we are really looking forward to continue to grow with you and continue to provide the services, all of those services, for free for the families. And this is why we also need your help, A, as volunteers, B, as connection points to others that might be involved or caring enough of our mission to be one of our donors. And also we hope to have as many parents and community members join our activities, both as allies and supporters. Alma, do you have anything else to add?
Just that if you feel you have benefited from 1-in-6 support services thus far, any donation whatsoever is helpful to what we're trying to do. So if you can only donate $10, great. If you are someone who donates to other organizations, we're hopeful that you will start considering us as one of the beneficiaries of your donations throughout the year. We really feel like we're doing something very valuable. We hear it all the time from the people who are receiving our services. That's life-changing. It's transformed their lives, for themselves, for their families. And we hope that you'll think about us when you're donating to different causes. We'd love to be one of those causes. So thank you so much. We hope we have given a great, succinct amount of information about what we do. We are basically an umbrella organization with many services to reduce isolation and create and foster community for families of children with disabilities. So thank you so much for listening this far, and we'll see you at the next podcast episode. Have a great rest of your day.
For more information, please go to www.twomomsnofluff.com. Thank you.
If you like this podcast, please subscribe and give it a 5-star rating so more people can hear it. Thank you.